being a stranger in this country, I made a lot of friends, and it was very nice. And there was one man here, I don't have to name his name, but he was telling me that he was scared for his job. And I said, why are you scared for his job? I was then in charge of the kilns. And he said, well, we're getting here people from England, and they might take our jobs over. I said, they won't come do that, you know. So this man got nervous, and he got sick. And he was in charge of the bottle ovens, you know, bottle kilns. They use like bottles, and he was in charge of that. And he was always looking at that, and eventually he couldn't work too good. And they put him in another department, and every time when he went to the toilet, he came back and he went past his kilns. And one day he jumped in, and he got killed. But the factory and the bosses here and the staff, there was 75 or 80% foreigners. Italians, Dutch, Yugoslav, all from all over the world. And so you would think that it won't work, but it was beautiful harmony. But the top brass was good, was very good to work for. That's why I was 31 years there.
Well, I suppose I enjoyed working here, so that made the years go quick. The ovens were always interesting because you never knew what you were getting out when you were doing that stuff. And we had a boss here that used to do all different colours, and you know, so you had something new coming out of that kiln all the time.
During the war, and this was before I came down here, you couldn't get cups on the market, and the factory was making cups without handles because we couldn't get the labour to make the handles, and they were buying these cups without handles. Well, that going back to Clausen's days, that's where he got his artists and his modellers from. They were European people that knew their trade well. And at the same time, labour, of course, was very scarce after the war, and you were grabbing anybody you could get. And as you say, they were migrants mainly. And we had roughly, well, not quite 200, but roughly 50-50 males and females.
I'd had a bit of time off, if you understand, but I never really left because I was making the roses at home, and I was getting 10 shillings an item. So I used to make them at home and send them in, and used to get paid that way. So my name was always on the payroll. And then, of course, gradually I came back. So I was associated 45 years anyway. But all those young years were good. As I said, we were teenagers in the beginning, and then they started bringing the men back from the war, and of course they were getting their jobs back.
George Clausen retired when it became retiring age, and I took over, yes. And because the Wembley ware had its day, or was having its day, I could see that the end was nigh, and I had to do something else to keep the factory going, and I decided that the hotel ware was quite a large market for our size pottery. And in the hotelware range, they weren't so much worried about price. They wanted delivery when they wanted it. They wanted a good, solid product that would stand up to the wear and tear, and price became about a third priority, so that suited us very much. But it meant we had to change everything in the factory. The body had to be completely changed because it had to be a much tighter body, much tougher body, and you weren't allowed to have any absorption. In normal earthenware bodies, they tend to be a bit porous and they craze. Hotelware is not good hotelware if it crazes, and of course hotels won't, and catering establishments won't buy it. Well, the key challenge was first of all to get the right body, the clay body, to produce the article that would stand up to all the tests that catering establishments put it to. Having got that, the next thing was to get the market. English crockery had the name on the market, and of course they were well established, and that was a real challenge to get into the various markets around Australia and beat the English people at their own game. Everybody thought English pottery was the be-all and the end-all. So we had to get them to recognise us, and we managed that with a lot of hard work and a lot of heartache. And I suppose to some extent every now and again with the shipping was unreliable. The various merchants had run out of their crockery that they were using to replace the various restaurants, hotels and the like, and they'd come to us and say, can you do this, can you do that? And of course that's when we hopped in and did it. And that made a big difference and got us, once we got established, well, it was fairly easy going after that. So we went through a couple of very hard years while these big changes took place.
Now, what can we say? The time to move on. We had to say goodbye to everybody, and then we had to move. Yes, a little bit sad, but this is life. We had to carry on. The whole Australian people, Australian were using our products, our stuff, wherever 5-star or hospital or wherever we go, we can see all whatever we make, everybody using here, so we feel happy and we feel so proud for that. Now, the time that maybe next couple of 5 or 6 years, when we go to the 5-star hotel or restaurant, we're not going to see Australian Fine China anymore. We're going to see Australian Fine China made in Brazil and made in China. That a little bit sad for that, yes. When I came here, I don't know about this country. My sister sponsored me to come here. So when I came here, I tried to get a job in this factory, and then so I stay here until today. Yes. Also in Burma, is the politics is a little bit, not the right position at the moment. So everybody want to run away from the country, and whoever do the politics is they have to run away from the country. They cannot live there anymore. Yes. When I start here, 1988, 11 April, I start under the Fine China. I start working here until today. This is the last week for us. This Friday, the last week for us. A little bit sad, but what can we do? We have to move on, carry on. Also, I'd like to say thank you to Future Company, the Future Company that give a job here 18 years. When I come from Burma, I come in with nothing. I start work here, and I earn a little bit, and then now I can buy my mortgage and everything. Yeah, better than nothing, better life. A lot of Burmese people. Also, we have a lot of Timorese, a lot of Greek people, Italian people, also Macedonian, and a lot of Chilean people, a lot of Vietnamese people around here. Yes, multicultural. Yes. Yeah, I remember that one time when we start here, a lot of people, we are coming from a different nationality. We bring in all the different attitude. People are sometimes, arguing, but later on, we all get to know each other and like a family. This factory is especially like a second family for us and a second home for us. We came here, we see each other every day, all the time, become like brother and sister, and we love to work here, with a happy family, happy life, yes.